Okay, welcome to this quick tutorial on the St. Martin Ambulance Dispatch and Fleet Log application. So what you're looking at here now is a split screen. The purpose here is we're going to show you what the dispatch center looks like and then what the ambulance dispatch or the ambulance vehicles see when they log in for their daily shift report. So we're going to start on the left-hand side. You'll notice here on the right-hand side underneath the ambulances, there's no ambulances available and there's no calls in the queue. So this is not something that you would typically see because it's an emergency service. So there'd always be an ambulance on scene. So you'd always see something here. But just to give you an idea of what it would look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by starting our shift. So the crew would come in, they would click on start shift. It would bring up the information where they now pick who they're working with. So they'll pick the first nurse, they'll pick the second nurse, then they'll pick their EMT, whoever that may be, and then they'll put in their current mileage. So they have the current mileage in there now. The vehicle's ready to go. They're going to start their shift. You're going to notice on the left-hand side here, that's going to light up. So now dispatch has been notified that that vehicle is now starting its shift. We're going to put another shift in there, another crew in there as well. So we have another crew. We're going to say we'll go with unit 3. So unit 3 is going to start their shift, and we're going to go with a name here. And we're just picking names at random here, just for demonstration purposes. And again, the kilometers. And now we're going to start this shift, and then you'll notice here the vehicle will light up, indicating that that vehicle is now on shift. So there it is now. That vehicle is now on shift. So now it moves over. And now what happens is the crew would just leave this running on their laptop. And they would just kind of wait for the calls to come in. So on the right-hand side, we're going to simulate a call coming in. So the call comes in, we take the call. The first thing we do is we click on the call information and we get an address, and we just simply start typing what the address is. So we'll just grab one here. Google will do a search, come up with an address. If it finds an address, it will put it in there. Then what you have is you have the ability here, if you're getting inaccurate information or there's a little bit more of a confusion regarding the specific location of the call, you can use this tool here to help you navigate or help you pin the actual location of the call so that the GPS coordinates will be tracked. And you can just simply zoom in here and you can grab the pin and you can move it around to wherever they tell you. They're telling you that it's an accident at the intersection. So you put it right at the intersection. That's going to change the GPS coordinates for that. And then that information will be available to the driver. But as it stands now, we have the information. They may be calling from a cell phone, so you're going to ask them for that information, obviously. And I'm going to put in my information. Now what you have here is a locate caller button. What that's going to do is if you click that, what that's going to do is the minute you dispatch this vehicle, that's going to send a request to that phone number. So it's going to send a text message out to that individual and ask that individual to confirm their location. So when they get the text, they're going to click on it. It's going to have a link. They'll click on the link. It will grab their GPS coordinates, and then it will send it back to the dispatch center saying, this is where this caller is located. So quite helpful when you have a situation where the caller may not recognize his surroundings or doesn't know where he's at. He's able to send that information back to you and you can get that GPS coordinates. So now what you have here are these quick reference cards. And you can have as many quick reference cards as you want. There's a way to set those up. But basically what you do is you go into the database, you add the quick reference cards so that you're not typing the same thing over. So we know what ischemic chest pain looks like. We're going to say this is a witnessed vital signs absent, CPR in progress. Okay, this is an unwitnessed VSA. Let me just pause this for a second. And this is just a simple witnessed VSA, vital signs absent, motor vehicle collision. So we'll take one, we'll say a witnessed VSA. So you can see witness collapse, vital signs absent, CPR in progress. And you can add whatever note you want to that just simply by, so we have CPR in progress. No other injuries. Okay. So we have that. We have a VSA. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dispatch that, and we're going to dispatch an ambulance to that. So what we do is we go down here and we say dispatch an ambulance. So now that we do that, it's going to come up and tell us what do we have. Well, we know we only had 2 ambulances on shift. So this is what we have. We have unit 1 and unit 2. We know the crew that's in those units. We're now going to send one of those units. So when I pick that and I hit dispatch the unit, so unit 1, I'm up here on unit 3. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take that off and I'll go unit 3 because I can see here on my left-hand side, I'm monitoring unit 3. So I'm ready now to dispatch that unit. I'm going to go ahead and say dispatch the unit. Now that I've done that, it's going to go ahead. It's going to say unit 3 has been notified. It comes up now and the alerts start playing. You could probably hear that. So what's happening now is the ambulance, it sends that message out to the ambulance telling them that a call is waiting for them. They can read the details there, and now they can click en route to that call. And that's going to update here automatically on this side. You can see right there, that's been updated to en route. And so too has this been updated to en route because they're now en route to that call. So the crew now can participate or can interact with this. As they're driving to the call, the next thing they're going to want to do is if they get a canceled from dispatch, then they're just going to click cancel and that's going to clear the call. When they arrive on scene, they're going to click on arrive on scene just before they get out of the ambulance, no sooner. And when they do that, it's going to update the dispatch information. The timer that's running is the timer from the time the call was originated to the end of the call. So you'd be able to know how long this call has been running. Right now, the timer seems to have stalled, but we'll get that corrected. So that's what's going to happen there. It's going to show those times. And now what's going to happen is the ambulance crew is going to say, I've been arrived. So you'll see that they've been arrived. Now on the left, right-hand side, you're going to see it's going to show that they've arrived on scene. And now they're out with the call. So you can also get additional information. So if you receive some call information while you were there to say that a pulse has been returned, you can say witnesses state the patient has a pulse. We're going to add that notes to the call log, and that information is going to be in the call log. We're going to say second ambulance is requested. We're going to add that one, then go ahead and dispatch a second ambulance. So we're able to keep these call notes, and it shows us the last time it was updated. We can view the history, and that'll show us here's the history of these calls that have happened, or the notes that we've taken on this call. So we're going to continue with this information. Now, what may happen is you may get a situation where the crew is going to tell you that they grabbed the route, they grabbed the microphone, and they tell you that they're en route to hospital, but they didn't update their computer. So if they don't update it, it's advisable that you can update it, or if that's your practice, just simply click en route to hospital and you'll see that that's going to update. So now it shows update, and it also shows on their end, you can see the laptop updated as well, saying that they're en route to the hospital. Now, when they arrive at the hospital again, if they're booking out, if they're having the laptop, they can say that they've arrived, or they can notify you that they've arrived, and then you just simply click arrived at hospital. And once you do that, again, it updates it and shows you, and then at any given time, you can see that this unit is at the hospital. If another call should happen to come in, you take the next call. So you get the caller information. We're going to say 123. Here's the information here. It's a good location. We have the caller's phone number. We don't need a location. We have a chest pain call. We can add additional information as we need it here. And now we're going to dispatch another ambulance. We only have unit 1 available, so we're going to send that ambulance. That unit's been dispatched. That's going to refresh the page, and now you're going to see you have both calls there. Unit 3 is still at the hospital, and number 1 has been notified, and you're just waiting for this crew to acknowledge the call. Once they acknowledge the call, again, this will light up. So we switch over to unit 1. We can see the call information's there. It's waiting. It's flashing for us, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and say that that is, we're going to accept that call. And now we can see that that's en route. The light starts flashing, indicating that the ambulance is en route or on an active call, and we continue going through the motions of either, again, dispatch marking these arrived, or the crew is doing that from their unit. Now, if a call comes in the meantime, we have to wait to give this call out. So we'll get another call here. We'll get into an address, and we'll say nobody at 245. We'll do this one here again. We'll say 123 front. We're here down at front, and we'll say it's a motor vehicle collision with injury or unknown injuries. Now we're gonna have to dispatch an ambulance, but we'll see that there are no vehicles available. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to park this call. We have to park this call until we get a vehicle available. So we're just simply going to say park, and that's going to put it in here, and it's going to start a timer in terms of how long that call's been parked. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wait, and we're going to give this call to one of these ambulances as soon as they clear up. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear up Unit 1 here just for demonstration purposes. We're just going to clear them on the call, and it's going to say, hey, make notes because it looks like they've already reached the patient, and the question is whether or not the patient refused transport. So we're going to say yes, notes were added, patient refused transport. Once we do that, that's going to clear the call, make the unit available, and now this parking call can be given to that unit. So to do that, we're just simply going to grab the parking call, and we're going to drop it on Unit 1. That's going to update, and what that's going to give us is it's going to give us now number 1's been notified of that call. You can see on the left-hand side, number 1 screen is going to start flashing, and it's going to play the alert, letting them know that they've been assigned that call. So they're now going to say en route to that call. So now that they're en route to the call, we're now free to continue to take additional calls. You'll notice up in the left-hand side, it says there's a P there, P en route. P just means that it was a call that was parked. So the patient's been waiting quite a bit of time there, and we'll be able to keep track of those calls from the time the call was received right to the end of the call. So that is a quick rundown on how you dispatch these vehicles. The next phase of this is going to be in the dispatch program, where we're able to now go in and we can use the priority dispatch to go in and answer questions about the patient's condition, which then will give us a better description of what the type of call it is, and then tell us the priority in which the call should be dispatched. Once that information is confirmed, then we confirm the dispatch, and then that takes us to the call screen and that to this section, and then we continue to fill out the form. We get the address information, and we continue on with the call. And that's a quick rundown on how the St. Martin Ambulance Dispatch Program works.